Speaking of players that can help you with your fantasy playoffs, Komish wrote about some players that might be game changers in during fantasy playoffs, and some of these names or most of these names you've been seeing already most likely. Let's start off with Kelly Olynyk from Houston. He has been playing well since getting to Houston.
He is 15 points, I think, or 17, 18 points. And Januel House also had a bad ankle injury today. So, I mean, the ankle injuries are piling up. And without Januel House, Kelly Olynyk should be unleashed either as a starter. Even if he comes off the bench, he should get more minutes, 30 minutes. And contract year, guys, Kelly Olynyk needs to do something big. He has to. This is like a tryout for him before, you know, the negotiations for his new contract will come this off season. So I have a good feeling about Olynyk. He's gonna be at least 18 points and 6 to 7 rebounds with a couple of threes guy, and he's gonna help a lot of fantasy teams in this playoffs.
In fairness to Olynyk, if we look at the roster of Houston, assuming John Wall plays, he's probably their third best player. Right? I mean, the other names here, not really proven players. Even Kevin Porter Jr. Will be inconsistent, will not be as good all the time. Olynyk is probably a more consistent option or choice given the minutes. He can contribute as long as he gets the minutes, and he has proven that in Miami.
Yes, and if I guess we can talk about Kevin Porter, who's one of our sweet players.
Yeah.
He had 12 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 8 turnovers today, and I know a lot of KPJ owners are not happy. I've been seeing people saying they're gonna drop him, and yeah, he's been scouted. And as a point guard, being scouted, you know, you can't do what you did in the beginning, 30 points and 10 assists right away. As I said, it won't be that kind of games for him going forward. But maybe the 8 turnovers is a fluke. Maybe it's more 3 or 4 turnovers a game, but it's still not that good for a point guard. But for me, it's still a hold. Still a hold for me.
Yeah, 14 team, maybe in a 12 team, maybe you can, you know, see who's available, who's hotter there, who is more serviceable, or who can help you more. He is probably, for me, borderline hold in a 12-team league, but on a 14 onwards, I think he is still a hold because,
but I will say, among the G League boys, I still have him as probably number 2. Before, it was number 1. But right now, I have him under Moses Brown. Because he can hurt
Moses
you.
Brown doesn't hurt you.
Yes.
I mean, he gives you. Yeah, he gives you consistent. Well, maybe the scoring and the rebounding won't be as, you know, huge or won't be as consistent, but he won't give you too much turnovers or won't kill you on the field goal. Unlike KPJ, if he doesn't perform, he'll probably be shooting 30% field goal like he did today, and give you
that's fine, but the turnovers
4 or 5 turnovers.
Yeah, that's the one that hurts a lot.
Yeah,
and I'll give a name. Maybe it's another name in our fantasy game changers. Let's skip over to him, Chuma Okeke.
Yep.
I think if you have Okeke in your waiver wires, I'll be okay with swapping him and KPJ. He's been playing really well in 14-team leagues. I think he's a mass, as I said yesterday with the Orlando topic that we did. But right now, I think Otto Porter is injured again. So
as expected.
As expected. And Okeke is I'm shocked.
Otto Porter's injury was sudden. He was just suddenly seen in a walking boot. And he even played the game.
I didn't know that. I didn't know he was in the walking boot.
No one really even felt that he was injured.
I think no one cared. No one cared anymore.
No one was surprised.
But for Okeke, without Otto Porter, you know, he's averaging 3 assists and then 1.4 steals and 0.8 blocks as a starter.
Mm-hmm.
Those are good numbers, and and he's shooting very well.
Yep.
Yeah, he's shooting very well. I mean, I think he's gonna be another game-changing player this fantasy playoffs time.
Yep. So Chuma Okiki is another player. Of course, Kelly Olynyk was the first player. Of course, another teammate of Okiki, Wendell Carter Jr., who was on the brink of being dropped by most of the fantasy managers before being traded, is now
biggest winner.
Probably the biggest winner, yes, fantasy-wise. Even the counterpart in his trade, Vucevic, has dropped in value somehow. Hasn't been performing as well compared to what he was with before the trade. And Wendell Carter probably is I don't know. I can't think of anyone who increased fantasy value as high as Wendell Carter did after.
Maybe it's between him and Robert Williams of Boston, who had another good game today, by the way. But Wendell Carter, it's different because Wendell Carter, as Jeremy said, was almost if not in waiver wires already.
Yep.
And
if not for the trade, I'm pretty sure he would have been dropped already.
I'm seeing in him. I mentioned about this year, 1 year when Omer Asik. I don't know. I mean, our listeners are young, but Omer Asik had a year where he had 20 rebounds, doing 20 rebounds so easily in the fantasy playoffs time, and then just suddenly became the star of that fantasy playoff semis and the finals. I think Wendell Carter Jr. has that potential to be a 20-10 and then 2-3 blocks guy by the time the fantasy playoffs comes around. He's gonna be that good, and he has
been good. I mean, with Orlando, there's really not much player to rely on, and I think Wendell Carter is the guy. Another difference as well, maybe, I think, is he has played more of an inside game.
Yes, agree.
Like when he was in Chicago, he was shooting more threes and attempting more threes, but now I think he is more playing inside.
It's a matter of coaching, I guess. I don't know. Or
style and system, I guess. Yeah. So that has benefited Wendell Carter Jr. So if you were able to scoop him up or trade for him after he was traded, then he might just get you that fantasy championship this season. All right, other players in the playoff game changers. Thomas Satoransky, who has been another player playing really well. If you need the assist, today he scored 19, I think, and 11 assists, a double-double. He is your guy.
And Kobe White is in COVID protocol, aside from just coming off a neck injury, who's not yet perfect, and he's a sixth man. So now, Satoransky doesn't have any backup as far as I know. He's gonna play more. And the assists and steals, it's close for me between Satoransky and TJ McConnell. As much as I love TJ McConnell, I might choose Satoransky right now.
Yeah, because of the minutes.
The minutes and being a starter.
Yep.
And he's only owned in 27% of the leagues. TJ McConnell is owned in, I think, 60-something to 70% of leagues. So he's way cheaper, way more available, and I think he should be added in all leagues starting now. So if you still have Sato in your waiver wires, I think pick him up. And he's gonna be there. Yeah, he's gonna be the guard. But one of the guards you can help you.
If we talk about backups, there's really none except for Ryan
Arcidiacono or whatever.
Arcidiacono.
Arcidiacono, yeah.
And maybe I think Levine plays a little point just to
I'll add another name. Daniel Gafford, because I just want to torture Jeremy. I know he missed out on Gafford, so I just have to mention it here to see how tortured his face will be. Gafford is injured, I know, but he's in the IL already. He's IL eligible. If you have an open spot, you pick him up and then put him there. He averaged 12.5 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 2.5 blocks to 3 blocks when he was playing in Washington. The 2 to 3 games he played there. And that was in limited minutes.
Pretty well. He shot it.
And that was in limited minutes. So again, fantasy playoff time comes around. Maybe he'll be a double guy. So who knows, right? You won't lose anything because it's free. You can put him in your IL. So he's a guy you should pick up.
Yeah, I was just
Right,
telling
Jeremy?
Kamish that I was thinking of a couple of days ago. I was already thinking of picking him up, but I was trying to win the week. Although I don't think it was worth the worth winning that week. Anyway, Daniel Gafford should be added right now. He could be playing late next week. Because he's out for 7 to 10 days. I think right now he's probably around 7 or the middle of that 10-day week. All right, last player in their playoff game changer, Evan Fournier. Player who has been dropped a lot of times, in a lot of leagues after that performance, first game with the
first two games.
Yep.
Evan Fournier, I put him here. Every listeners know how much higher I am with him compared to other people. And yeah, he doesn't get 30. He won't get 30 to 35 minutes. He only got 21 minutes today, although it was a blowout. I think he'll settle in 25 minutes. And 3-3-pointers, 15 to 16 points a game is easy for him with that number of minutes. I think he was prematurely dropped, and I think he should be picked up. Threes and points guy, yes, but if you guys are being patient with Dwayne Bacon, with Malik Monk, with all those guys, with even Grayson Allen's, he's way better than those guys. Way better than those guys. So he's some managers got lucky. Whoever picked him up.
So Evan Fournier should be added back.
Yes,
and there was a good I think I can't remember if it's an article or a tweet that I read that he basically is the replacement of Gordon Hayward in Boston. And if there was a time when Boston had Gordon Hayward with Jaylen Brown, with Tatum and Kemba, and Hayward was still performing fantasy-wise. So it's like him being a replacement of Gordon Hayward. And if you look at that in that perspective, he should be serviceable, or he should give you good fantasy value moving forward.